Today's sponsor of the Vision Quest podcast is 920 Hat Company. Leather patch hats are in, and 920 Hat Company is here to hook you up with your very own custom hat. All patches are lasered on top-grade genuine leather and on popular brand hats like Richardson and FlexFit. Whether you're looking to show off your business or want a one-of-a-kind hat for yourself, 920 Hat Company can do it all. All the hats are handcrafted right in the Fox Valley, but worn across America. With over 500 hats in stock, they guarantee fast turnaround times. Honestly, Liam, looking at these hats, solid, right?
Yeah, they're pretty. I like them.
I like that patch itself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, one-of-a-kind stuff. I know his name's Trevor. He does great work. He's actually gotten I think we got a knit hat coming.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we got that coming. So we're really excited to have these guys on board as a sponsor. So get down to check them out on Facebook. I believe they're on Instagram. Check them out, man. They got the best hats, I think, in the Fox Valley, if not in the state.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So get down to 920 Hat Company on social media and check them out. All right, man, we're here. It's another edition of the Cav Corner. It's Cav Corner number 4. Pretty excited about this one. We've been excited about all of them. We'll just briefly touch on a couple things that we typically do, but we're here for the Cavaliers, Virginia Cavaliers men's wrestling, right? That's what we're here for. We have a great lineup coming up this weekend. Not this weekend. Listen to me talk. Tonight. I'm talking about like it's like future tense here, like it's not till tomorrow. It's coming up tonight. I'm putting this out a little late. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. My apologies for making it a little late here, but I had a bunch of stuff going on this week. Just able to get to it now, but we still want to do this. We'll have this out in plenty of time. You guys obviously be listening to it. We'll have it out a couple hours before the duel. Typically doing that anyways, doing it the day of the duel. Maybe we'll do a couple or something like that, like a couple days or something like that before a duel. But since the season's wrapping up, we don't have too many opportunities to do that. But this is kind of how we're doing it right now. Again, I'm going to reiterate, I don't get lineups from Coach. We ask certain questions if they think a guy's going to be around or not, but really base this off of what we want to see. And that's what we've been doing the past couple of weeks, is just what we want to see. Guys that we've been missing, thinking they'll be coming back. We know that some guys are going through some illnesses for a little bit. So we know that some of those guys are bouncing back. Hopefully this is going to be a duel that they can, get that positive state of mind coming up with the rest of the season coming, or with the postseason coming. But we think this is going to be a great duel. So tonight they wrestle against Duke, the Blue Devils, right? I don't think that this is going to be a problem for us. Again, I'll reiterate, I use Wrestle Stat. I love Wrestle Stat. So if you guys haven't used it, been on it, go to Wrestle Stat and check out all the information they have on there. I would describe to you exactly what's on there, but there's so much stuff, and it's the amount of information that they sift through on a weekly has got to be insane. But the way that they keep this, the information they have on here is fantastic. They're doing Hodge Trophy runs as well. They have a Hodge Trophy race that they got going on here. So there's a bunch of stuff on here. Check out WrestleStat.com. This is basically what I use for me to preview duels. I think like Flo uses them too once in a while. They talk about their stuff, but this is pretty accurate. I mean, they were pretty right on the ones that I thought we were still going to. I mean, I want to be a little positive, right, with our guys, that they were showing us that we weren't going to get it done. I said we were. A couple of them we did, a couple of them we didn't. Right? Shit happens. What are you going to do? But we do this so that way these guys get a little more exposure, get a little more attention. I don't think these guys have a show out there, so that's why we're doing it. Anyways, Virginia against Duke. So we're going to say it's number 41 Virginia, number 73 Duke, right? They have us winning 37-0. I'm going to say that's highly accurate. We'll look through. I'm still going to if we got one that we're winning, I'm still might be a little judgmental on something, right? I mean, I still coach, so it's not like I'm a NCAA coach or anything like that, but I've been watching these guys now for a little bit, and hopefully we get to see a little more action from, like I said, some of the guys we've been missing, but we definitely should have this one in the bag, I would think, right? So we're going to start off at 125. I'm going to say this again about names. I screw them up all the time, and you guys are going to be like, why does he say this in every episode? Because I apologize to the guys that screw up. I've been saying Kevion or Cavion. I believe it's Kevion. It's the way it's spelled, right? You think it's the way it's spelled, it's the way you should pronounce it. But I'm going to say Kevion Roller. I got him at 125. He's got this guy dead to rights. They're saying tech fall. I'm going to go with a pin on this one. I'm thinking Cavion's going to, come out and really start the duel for everybody. I'm going with a pin. So they got tech fall 19-3. I'm going to go with a pin. Thank you, Wrestle Stat. Man, the amount of information is just crazy. I have friends that do stats and stuff, and they do rankings, and the amount of information that they have in their spreadsheets is just absolutely nuts. But they know what they're doing, right? A lot of these guys have been doing this stuff since forever. So we're going to go down to 133. I'm going to say Gable Porter. Let's see, Cavion Roller had. We'll go back to 125 quick because I didn't. I'm guessing that they're going to have Ethan Grimminger. Guessing, right? Again, this is just me guessing who I think these guys are going to have. I don't know Duke, and their coaches don't tell me who they got coming up. So this is all wild guess, right? And then so that was 125 with Cavion Roller against Ethan Grimmage. I'm calling pin. 133, we got Gable Porter. He's number 64 against Raymond Adams. 133. I think Gable's coming back with a little bit of a vengeance. They're saying major decision. I'd like to see him coming out with a pin on this one, right? I'd love to see a pin on this one, especially for Gable. Let's see if we can't get him a pin. But they're saying major decision. I'm going to go tech fall, right? I'm going to go tech fall, but I'm pulling for a pin. So I'm calling tech fall on this one. So that's kind of where I'm at with this match. This is going to be pretty set, I think, in stone as well, too. Gable's got this. We've been surprised, right? We've had some matches already in the past couple of weeks that we were surprised by that. Maybe they weren't going to win the match, but it didn't exactly turn out. It turned out a little worse than what we wanted to. But things happen, right? We build on week to week. This is all building blocks for the postseason. So, so that's 133. I got Gable Porter. I'm going to say tech, but I'm hoping pin, right? I'm hoping pin. And he's going against Raymond Adams. So this one shouldn't be a problem. I know that they have common opponents, and Gable's beaten every single one. I think he's 7-6 versus Raymond Adams has 2 out of 13 against common opponents. But I got to pay attention. I got my French bulldog down here who likes to get into everything. Right, Otis. Yeah, he likes to get into everything. I got to make sure he's not eating paint chips or something because he's crazy. Anyways, so that was 133. Next up is 141. We got Dylan Sedano. I'm calling my guy again. I think they're calling tech. Why? I'm calling fall. Sedano is going for a fall. Their position and rankings is not even close. And Sedano has just been on fire, man. So I'm calling a fall for him. What is that, 2 now? I'm just really, really biased here, guys. And no one's surprised, right? This is a Virginia Cavaliers wrestling show. But this one, I'm gonna call a fall, right? They're calling tech fall. I'm calling fall. Sedano against Christian Coleman. We'll see if that's the turnout, but pretty confident in who we have on that one. Dylan Sedano is going to come out with a pin. So that's going to be a big one. And then I think we could be looking at, I want to make sure I got this right here. Yeah, I'd like to see, again, these are all things I'd like to see. And this is someone that I haven't seen. It'd be nice to see Jack Myers pop out, right? Haven't seen him. I think I maybe have seen him in 1 or 2 matches, but I haven't seen him the rest of the season. It'd be nice to see him in a duel like this, kind of prove himself and put his name up on the scoreboard a little bit and make some noise. So as far as I'm pulling up here, I'm going Sean O'Donnell for 149 here. Jack Myers, I think is going to pull this off. They're saying major. I don't want to go too much on that one. I love you, Jack. I just haven't seen you in a minute, but I'm going to say it's going to be a decision. Major decision would be great, but I'm going to balance it off of some of the stuff that I've given out already. I got to be a little careful, right? I don't want to be too wishful thinking. But I'm going Jack Myers against Sean O'Donnell. I got my French bulldog bugging me here. He wants attention, but he's not getting it. Sean O'Donnell, and they say major decision 13-5. I'm going to go with the decision just because I haven't seen Jack in a minute. It'd be good to see him coming out here and getting that major decision, though. So let's do that. By all means, Jack, pull it off. 157. I'm going back to Nick Sanko. I think I did last week too. Again, I'm not basing anything off of last week. I can base off of what I think they got, how they looked. And a couple of these guys look pretty solid. I think I mentioned it in the last one. Gas tank's important, man. I think we saw it in a couple matches last week. You're especially when you're getting worked a little bit, right? I mean, you got to try and make a comeback, and it's hard to do that when that gas tank's not there. And it's not easy either. When you're in the middle of that match and when you are getting worked, you're trying to make your way back. You're that tired. It's that weighs not only on your body, but on your brain. So it is difficult. But I think Nick Sanko is going to be one of them here at 157 that winds up pulling off something that we aren't expecting. They're saying decision. I'm going with major decision on this one. He's got, I'm guessing, Logan Ferrero. I think hopefully Logan, you can yell at me too if I got that wrong. Logan Ferrero against Nick Sanko. I'm calling Sanko on this one on a major decision. They got 12-5. I'd be willing to say 13-5, 14-5. I got some inside my brain thoughts here that Sanko's going to want to come out and make some noise and beat his chest a little bit here and possibly get a pin if he can. But they're saying decision. I'm going to go major decision with Sanko. Then we head down on to 165. It's our guy, Nick Hamilton. I don't know that Nick is really going to have too much of a problem with Aiden Wallace. They are closely ranked. They're saying a 1-point decision. I think it's different. I don't think it's a 1-point decision. I think it could be like 4 or 5-point decision. Hamilton, I didn't look and see what these guys, how they faced off last year. Let's see what we got for some stats here. I don't think they wrestled each other or had their common opponents are fairly equal. Nothing too outlandish here as far as who's taking what against common opponents. But again, this is a one where I'm going to call Sanko Hamilton, and I'm going to think he's going to be more than just a 7-6. I'm going to go with like a 13-6 decision. So that's where we're at with that. If you guys are keeping score, great, but that's a regular decision on that one. Again, the rankings are kind of close, and so far with the teams that they've faced and some of the guys that they've faced when it's kind of close, they've been fairly accurate as far as the turnout, but I'm not disputing a decision. I just think it's going to be more than 7-6 again. So that's 165. We got Nick Hamilton for the dub. Then we're going on to 174. As far as who's where, who wrestles at what, who weighed in at what, it's always different, right? And I know that some of these guys can make different weights. I don't know the status of all of our 174s, but I do know that Stefanelli is able to make that, I think. But this is me guessing. Okay. This is me guessing. I don't know where Justin Phillips is. I'm guessing he's either sick or injured. I haven't heard anything. I've got no confirmation on any of that. Rocco Contino. I know Rocco got pretty sick. So I'm guessing that there's still kind of an illness bug with him. But this is just me kind of going off of information that I've seen. Again, the coaches don't pass me anything. But anyways, I'm going to go with Stefanelli here. And they have this with 12-5 decision. Their rankings are pretty well separated, but not totally. They're on the lower half of 150. But as far as who they have, I'm going to go with Gaetano Console. That's been their pretty regular guy. I know that he's had some wins, I believe, against one of our guys. Nope, Nope. No common opponents. So there it is. So, but the ones that they do have, we have Stefanelli is a little more. There's a bad wordage there. A little better outcome. So, but they got Stefanelli with 12-5. I'll go with that. 12-5 sounds good on that one, but they definitely give us the dub on that one. I'm not going to disagree. 184. I'm going to go Griffin Gamble against David Hussey. Again, a little further down in the rankings, but the separation of the rankings, they have major decision for Griffin. I'll go there. I'll go there with the major decision. They got 14-3. Sure. I'll take that. I'll take that one for sure. Any of their common opponents, it's been a common outcome. So this looks pretty accurate to me too. 197. Again, my man, Stephen Burrell, man. I'm telling you, man, pull that double leg out. Let's see the double leg. Let's see it. I want to see it. I love it. Work it a little bit more. I don't care. Have Trent work with you in the room and just circle around and get in different positions for that blast double. Just work it. Cause I love seeing every minute of it. But they got, let's see, Wrestle Stats got Quasi Banzu. I probably screwed that one up. But they got decision by Burrell. I'm going to go major decision. They got 11-7. Yeah, I'm going to go 16-8. I'm going to go just pulling off a major. That's me, right? But Wrestle Stat still got him with the decision on that. We're going to go a step above. And we'll go down to heavyweight. I'm going Gabe Christensen again. I think a lot of these guys again are getting ready kind of for the end of the season. A couple of guys they want to get out there because they haven't had a lot of exposure yet this season. A wild guess for me, but Gabe Christensen against Connor Barkett. I think I'm guessing again, but I love these matchups because they are still so close. Yet we have the advantage all the way through. They're going with a regular decision. This is going to be a tough one, right? Connor is a little bit more up there in rankings as far as Gabe. But Gabe is just watching him wrestle so far this year and looking at their common opponents. Yeah, I got Gabe still pulling out. Looks like Gabe got pinned by Connor in January, but they still got just based off of stats, they got Gabe winning 9-8. I'm gonna go with that. We'll go 9-8. We'll agree with Wrestle Stat here. Again, a lot of these guys, again, coming off of illnesses, coming off of injuries, things like that. It's tough. So we're excited for this one because this should be able to get these guys to put their stamp, on a good duel for the season here, especially coming up to the postseason. You got to have that confidence, right? You got to be able to build and expound on what you've already progressed with, right? So I'm looking forward to it. Tonight's pretty special. It sounds like there's a casino night kind of auction going on. It looks like there's a Dave Matthews Band tickets that are going to be auctioned, a whole bunch of stuff. Like this is probably going to be one. I wish we could be there for this one. Probably one of the cooler nights they're going to have. I think it's at the JPJ. And if you guys haven't noticed, they did just honor Coach Garland and Mr. Harshaw. Their names are now up on the gym room. It is dedicated to them now. So that's awesome. I'm really excited to have Liam get down there. Again, I reiterated on a tweet that I put out that when we went there, Paulsons are awesome. Ian Parker, great guy. But the one thing that my wife and I were looking for, and I can't express this enough, is we wanted Liam to be in a room and being coached by someone that parented similar. His coaching style was similar to our parenting style. That's what we were looking for. And talking to Coach Garland, he was honest. He was upfront. He was everything that we expected a coach to be. Didn't pull any punches, wasn't trying to, sweep one under the rug with us or anything like that. And, they're not all the coaches were, but we had a couple of coaches that were, I could tell, we're not being the most upfront, weren't necessarily lying, but they weren't giving you all the information either. And I get it. You know, this is a process, but Coach Garland and Clan, those guys made us feel like we were again at home, right? And that's how Liam felt. So no one more deserving of that than Coach Garland. I'm not totally familiar with Mr. Arshaw yet, but I'm sure we'll get to meet him. Also, probably a well-deserving person, but I know Coach Garland and couldn't be prouder and more excited for someone to have that honor. So, congrats, Coach Garland. The other thing I wanted to touch on for Cav Corner, right? We got the postseason coming up. What I do want to do is and I think I talked about it a little bit in the last episode, is we're going to follow along with these guys a little bit through the ACCs. Then we're going to follow along with these guys through the NCAAs, the ones that qualify, right? So we're going to be watching that. But once that starts to wrap up, we're going to start talking about some of the new guys coming in. You know, we've got the 2025 class that's going to be graduating this year, and they're going to be going into the room next year. So we are going to start talking about some of those guys coming up. 2026 recruiting class is a little bit smaller. So we might actually include those guys into it, right? We'll talk about maybe some of their high school career briefly. We'll only be able to get so much info. Would love to get some of those guys on the show, talk to them. But we'll wind up getting some information on those guys and how their senior season ended up, maybe some of the tougher matches that they had, some of the tougher competitions they were at. A lot of these guys that are coming in, I know Emmett Sherlock, he's a senior this year. He's graduating. He's in the top 10 on Willie's list as well. So these guys are doing something special, right? Regardless of what we have going on this year, we're building and we're going to keep building. Just with some of these guys, when guys like, Liam or Emmett or was that Paradon that's out of Lake Highland Prep, guys like that, when they start going to these places, it's just like any other school. Other kids that are of top caliber want to go, right? They all want to get to a place like that when they see these guys picking spots and become successful. So that's why I want to kind of follow up on some of these younger guys that are coming in. We'll be able to see, where they're coming from, some of the success they've had, and maybe we'll get a couple of them on the show and be able to talk about the success that they want to try and get to, right? So with that being said, if there's anything that anybody wants us to cover as far as the team, if there's certain things, again, shoot us an email. You can message us on social media. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on TikTok once in a while. It's not a huge thing there for me, but just reach out. Let us know. If there's someone you want to see, like tonight, we got Sarah Hildebrandt coming up, Olympic gold medalist from the female team, and we are way excited to have her on. Way excited. But we'd love to get one of these guys on. I know we've talked to a few of them. Season's on, so we're kind of on pause with that. But with these high school guys finishing up and wrapping up some of their high school days, we want to get some of those guys on too. We know Fargo's coming up and other guys are doing US Open too. So we want to try and catch them in between that. But we're really excited to be able to do this. Again, we really appreciate the Cavs for kind of letting us cover this stuff and do this. But again, once we kind of get more on our feet, we know more after this year, we can start talking and elaborating more next year. I'm not a big fan of trying to blow things out of the water, right? I'm about organic growth. So I'm going to take the little bit that we learned this year and we're going to build on it into next year. I could have a stat sheet in front of myself paying attention to what we have. That's kind of how I get into things, but not as smart as these guys at Wrestle Stat and some of the guys that I know that do rankings. So, but it's just nice to be able to have this info. And again, I really appreciate the team letting me cover them, and we're all about the Cavaliers. We're excited for this upcoming postseason for these guys, and we're even more excited for the season coming up next year because it's going to get a lot better, right? It's going to get a lot better. We're going to make a lot more noise, and I think we're going to get a lot more excitement coming through. We're going to make sure we give these guys the push that they need going into the postseason, though, and making the noise that they want to make. So we appreciate you listening. If it sucked, I'm sorry. We're about 25 minutes in, but the dual score looks like it's supposed to wind up at 37-0. We'll see. A couple close ones. I think the one close one is going to be the heavyweight. So we'll find out what's up. But for the time being, man, it has been a great pleasure talking about the Cavaliers wrestling and what they got coming up. So we hope you guys will stop back and join us again. But it's been another edition of
All of our episodes are brought to you by Appleton Tattoo, located at 117 South Appleton Street in Appleton, Wisconsin, right off the main drag on College Avenue. You can't miss them. I've had some work done. I have a Celtic cross that covers my back that was done by Jason. We're not done yet. Jason Winans and crew, the artists that he have there, those guys are the best in the Fox Valley. They are definitely one to go to if it's something that you've just been kind of throwing around. They'll make you feel comfortable. It's a very clean environment, very nice crew, and very willing to get done whatever you need done when you need it done. You can message them on Facebook. I know they're on Facebook. You can give them a call at 920-604-8289 and get in touch with Jason Winans and crew at Appleton Tattoo, located again in Appleton, Wisconsin at 117 South Appleton Street, right in Appleton. Very flexible hours, great crew, clean environment again. I would not send you anywhere else except for these guys. Appleton Tattoo.